fact, beginning this Wednesday, there will be a brand new monthly community newspaper delivered in the mailboxes of Hilton Head Island residents and businesses. It's called the Hilton Head Sun, and here to talk about it is its president and publisher, BJ Frazier. Now, BJ is also the president and publisher of the Bluffton Sun, and that has been issued for the past 15 years. BJ Frazier, thanks for joining us on the Hilton Head News.
Thank you, Allie.
Well, tell us about the Hilton Head Sun.
I sure will. As you know, the Bluffton Sun has been publishing for the last 15 years. Very popular newspaper, twice a month in Bluffton to all residents. And a couple of years ago, we started talking a little bit about possibly doing a Hilton Head edition, because people on the island would ask us, when are you coming to Hilton Head? Advertisers would say, gee, would love to see your paper on the island. And so beginning of the year, we started seriously discussing it and doing some research and surveys and so forth. And I'm fortunate to have Lynn Hummel, who's a 28-year resident on the island, who's also our editor up in Bluffton. She's been a real champion for this newspaper. She knows everybody, she knows everything, and has put together a dynamite first edition that I even haven't seen finished yet. You know how those deadlines go. But that will be in the mailboxes, safe and dry, to 22,000 households on Hilton Head this Wednesday.
Okay, and we'll let people know we're taping this on Monday, June 4th, so that'll be June 6th, Wednesday, that the first edition will come out. What kind of content are we going to see in Hilton Head News, BJ?
It's unlike a hard-hitting daily investigative newspaper. We are strictly community news. There will be features on your neighbors, on local sports, local business, and of course, the bread and butter of our newspaper is the helpful columns and articles that are published within, and that's everything from gardening to personal finance to decorating and just on and on, golf, fishing, and it's information that people will really enjoy, and it's a very comfortable newspaper. I hear that all the time about the Bluffton Sun, and we just think people are going to eat it up.
Now, how will I know, or how do I get on the mailing list for Hilton Head Sun?
Well, what we've done in Bluffton is blanket the community. Every household and business in Bluffton receives the paper safe and dry in the mailbox free. And we're going to use the same model on Hilton Head. As you may know, there are 21,250 households with active mailing addresses and businesses on Hilton Head. That's who we'll be sending the paper to. It will arrive on Wednesday, and then later on in the month it will be available at about 15 locations, another 2,500 copies of each edition.
And I think that would be great to know that too as a potential advertiser, because we do have the transient traffic of tourists coming in and out, and I'm sure seeing a publication like the Hilton Head Sun would be something that instinctually, if you're a visitor, you might want to pick up and take a look at.
Sure. I mean, I like to say it's the best of both worlds. You're guaranteed every household on the island as well as the transient tourist market, absolutely.
Well, I'm going to get a little personal here for a second and ask you, how did you ever get into this arena?
Well, I started in, I hate to say it, 1968. I know I don't look that old, but running proofs for a local daily newspaper in my home county in Fairfield County, Connecticut. Stayed with that paper for 30 years, the last 15 as publisher, and started many publications along the way. Always wanted my own business, loved Hilton Head, loved the Bluffton area and so forth. And I came down here and learned that the Bluffton, the City Sun, which it was then called, was for sale. And I was fortunate to be able to purchase it, and the rest is history. We've been for the last 7 years just growing it and improving the content and the look and so forth.
Now, you're starting off with a once-a-month publication for the Hilton Head Sun.
That's right.
Is the theory there to start off slowly and build, and then possibly look at increasing the number of times you come out a month?
Right. That's what we did in Bluffton. It was a monthly, and we increased it to twice a month. And who knows, the ultimate plan may be to go weekly in both markets, but that remains to be seen.
So you have faith in print still as a vehicle for disseminating information. We're not all going to the internet, or we may want to turn to sources other than just going online. You think that's still viable?
Absolutely, particularly in this market. The national trend is that daily newspaper circulation is dwindling. it's going down because of all that you mentioned with the internet and so forth, the cable news, and we all get our news on mobile apps. But the trend for community newspapers remains strong, and that's because people generally cannot get that information elsewhere. And plus, I think people want a break from the thousands of messages they get every day, and I hear from our readers at the Bluffton Sun, and I'm sure the case will be for the Hilton Head Sun as well. They like to have a paper they can relax and enjoy over a number of days. It stays on the coffee table or in the bathroom, wherever you might read it, for several days, over a week sometimes, and I see that continuing to grow.
Well, B.J. Frazier, we want to thank you for your time and letting us know all about this new publication, the Hilton Head Sun. We'll be looking for it in our mailboxes on a monthly basis, and we appreciate your time. The best of luck with it.
Thanks so much, Allie.